What's happening, troops? So, the title says it all. I got pulled over by a policeman that's invested into cannabis in a country where general possession is still considered illegal. Right, let's take this story back. Actually, let's start off the night before. Usual evening vibes, just smoking away, flicking through videos, and when I come across one about driving under medical cannabis and testing and all that jazz. It was basically just saying how THC can stay in your system for weeks, especially with frequent use, and that it binds to your fat cells and potentially remain in your system for longer. Here's me sitting here thinking, shit. I'm a big lad, not exactly something I wanted to hear, just a wee bit on the overweight side. I say wee, but yeah. But it was all good, man. I was only a couple of weeks away from getting my first medical prescription at that point. I submitted the paperwork, was just waiting for the doctor's appointment, very much in the process of getting legal. So I'm thinking, right, we're nearly there. Fast forward to the next day. So it was a nice day, so I thought, fuck it, let's go on a wee road trip. So we decided to head into the city. About a 200-mile round trip, give myself a little bit of fast food, a little bit of shopping, just have a nice time, you know. Early morning, away I went. Got myself up nice and early, no smoke, no nothing, just away. Got to the city about 11ish. I found this little parking area just outside the city, just near a little sort of local sort of mace shop kind of thing. You know, no more than about 5 minutes walk to the sort of city centre. And of course it was free parking. Because let's be honest, I'm not paying for parking if I don't have to. So I parked up, just finishing sitting on my phone. I think it was actually on charge. I was just trying to get some little extra juice before I went off out, go for a wee wander into the town. Then all of a sudden, a police pulled up behind me. At first when I seen them, I thought, they're just probably going to the shop, because the shop's just here and I'm just slightly round the corner, so just like, shop. You know, nicely parked. Bury my head in my phone, just pretend I haven't noticed them. So, you know, just casual, nonchalant. But all of a sudden you hear that. Honestly, I shat myself. I know I seen them, but I still wasn't expecting them to knock. Obviously, I look up and there's the police standing there. So here comes the usual patter. He said he had stopped me because my road taxi had expired. But I think he was trying just to reach for a reason to stop because my car was freshly MOT'd and taxed the day before. And insured because I'd literally just put it back on the road the day before. So here's me thinking, okay, what's the actual reason why you pulled me over? Well, turns out the area I was actually parked in turned out to be a high drug score area. In the court documents, it says I looked nervous. Far from nervous, just a little pizzazz for the court papers, I presume. And honestly, I was far from nervous. Nervous? I'll tell you about nervous. I'll tell you about the time I smuggled weed across international borders. That's nervous. Anyways, next comes your eyes look glazed, sir. And I'm thinking, here we fucking go. Next comes the search. No worries, got nothing on me. I came down with nothing. Job's a good one. Trust my dumb ass, I've got an empty grinder sitting in the glove compartment. Brilliant. Absolutely fucking brilliant. So boom, detained for a swab. Well, now these two officers weren't qualified to do the swab themselves, so I had to wait for another unit to arrive. Let me tell you, I had the driest mouth ever while waiting because I couldn't drink anything or do anything. And honestly, my arse was nipping. All I could think back to was that video from the night before. The officers that stopped me were pretty sound, to be fair. They even started joking, laughing around, saying, what's the chances that you're going to pass because I'm bursting for a piss? I wouldn't get your hopes up, mate. So after about an hour, the other unit turns up and swabs me over. These guys are a little bit more of the Robocop type, transport police, serious boys. Swab gets done and cannabis detected. So then that's me detained for a blood sample. Away we go to the cop shop. Backseat treatment, but no cuffs, surprisingly. And to be fair, it was no more than like 2 minutes to the station. I parked pretty close to it, to be honest, I didn't realise. But there was a bit of a queue to get processed. I'm sitting in the car with one of the officers. We just start yapping, asking where I'm from. Turns out we both know someone mutual. I've had the conversation turn to cannabis. And this guy, like, no word of a joke, literally turns and tells me he's invested into cannabis. He's basically saying he can't wait for it to become fully illegal so he can retire from it. And he genuinely thinks it's going to blow up. Here's me thinking, what the actual fuck? I'm about to be arrested by a guy who's invested into cannabis because he thinks cannabis is going to make him rich when it's fully legal. Honestly, I was a bit dumbfounded. At the time, I didn't really take it all in, 'cause I had that one thing on my mind, that fucking blood test, man. Never mind the charge. I fucking hate needles. And I've got a story about that too. When I was about 13, 14, I had to get blood taken. I was like, yeah, mum, don't worry. Don't need you to come. I'll go from school, get it done, back to school. No danger. Got the bloods taken, and the nurse told me to wait for about 10 minutes in the waiting room just to make sure I'm okay. And I was like, oh, fuck that, I don't need to wait. So, poof, away I went. So I walk out, the fresh air hits me, and the next thing I know, I'm waking back up in the nurse's office, absolutely covered in blood, my pus all burst and everything. I actually just face planted the deck and broke my nose, man. And ever since then, I hated those pointy little bastards. Anyways, back to the story. And that was it. The conversations just sort of drifted into silence while I waited my dreadful to be stabbed and pricked like a pincushion. Bloods get drawn, I wait for the results. That actually originally pulled me over. That actually gave me a lift into the town centre. Like, legit dropped me off right smack bang in the middle of the town. I even had a couple of folk coming up to me. Are you undercover, pal? Looking back telling this story, even now I have so many questions. The fact he's invested into cannabis but he's happily around arresting people for it. The fact, does he ever feel conflicted about it? Honestly, if I wasn't so worried for my blood getting shown, I think I would have turned the tables and questioned his ass. Maybe he's just a smart dude hedging his bets. The fact he says he was waiting for it to come fully legal so his investment can blow up, that's going to be his retirement, that's fucking wild, mate. This is basically where part one takes over. If you haven't watched that, go see it now. You know, you don't need to watch the two in sync. It definitely can be watched first, watch second. But yes, I was standing in front of the judge with my bag over my shoulder with medical cannabis. So that brings us to the outcome. I eventually got the charges dropped down till in control of a motor vehicle. Still got a 12-month van vote and a £300 fine. So, it is what it is. Some people say I got off lightly, some people say unlucky. At the time, I generally wasn't under the influence or impaired at all. Like I said, I hadn't even smoked that day. Just is what it is when it comes to THC testing and how it binds to your cells. It doesn't necessarily tell you the whole story, whether someone's impaired or had used medical cannabis recently. All it does is tell you that THC is present in your body. And the timing? Absolutely fucking terrible. Because like 2 weeks later, I got my first medical cannabis script. That's the takeaway from the story. Get yourself legal. Go and get yourself on the medical cannabis. It's worth it just for your driving alone and the peace of mind. And there's plenty of clinics out there. Take a look on MedBud, do your research, see what suits you. Because this whole situation really opened up my eyes to how complicated the whole experience can be. Anyways, that's it from me. If you like this style of content, give a like, give a subscribe, and leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. So sub up for the next one. Stay lifted, stay informed. I'll catch you all in the next one.